Great. Thank you for the introduction. So probably I can just skip this slide. It's my honor to be the first speaker at the management track. A little piece of information about me. I have more than 10 years of industry experience with more than 6 years in management. I have a PhD in engineering, and currently I'm a solution architect at Datamonsters, co-author of Lean Data Science, and also do some scientific activities. Uh, Today we'll talk about maturity model, but just before we start, you may see this number earlier. Around 85% of data science projects never make it into production. This is common situation for different companies and different data science team. That means that industry itself is in its infancy, and there is a lot of opportunities for improvements. Quite similar behavior for the software development was in early 19th. And as this feedback, agile methodologies began to appear. Data science will go pretty much the same way. I think any methodology is about building processes. One can ask, and what processes are there? How can we improve these processes? And the maturity model can answer these questions. We engage with our clients, as had already said, conduct lots of interviews. It was many interviews and researches to identify a more robust set of items, to build a diagnostic tool that sits behind it. So data science team could go beyond saying we are about an emerging level to have a real meaningful targeted conversation about what it means to be mature in this particular level. Cool teams seems to show more mature behavior. Growing maturity in data science processes increase the success rate of data science project and engage data science working on your business needs more efficiency. A more mature your team is means it's more show better results. When we consulted companies on processes, we use this maturity model as a starting point, and then we understand what needs to be improved in this team. This is a sort of guide for improvements. Previously, we used Google Sheets, and now we deploy a convenient tool that shows baseline and comparison with other teams. And I would like, and I would ask to help us and to see this tool. And we add some interactivity here. We will go together through 15 questions, and then let me drop a link that you see here in the chat. It's here. Where is the chat? There is some issues while I'm sharing the screen. I need to find the link. Okay. Can you see this link? Hope so.
Yes. No, I think people cannot see that because you send it to panelists only, and you need to send it everywhere.
Okay. How about this one?
And attendees, probably yes. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Great. Great. Superb. Okay, just join me here, and we'll go through this tool. This is maturity model tool. Just before we start, it's totally anonymous. We will see only the average results. No names, no companies. We have no idea who you are. And in the end, you will receive your team's baseline score. It is a starting point for your improvements, of your team. You'll also be able to compare your team score with other participants who will join us today. And by the way, just before we start, you can use the link you'll get in the end to share with your mates or save for the future analysis. Just put it somewhere. Okay. I see several participants, and great. We start with choosing the role that better describes you. Let it be product manager for me, for my testing user. Then we choose country, and as we are sitting here, it's Russia. And what better describes your team? Are you analytics team, a machine learning team? Are you doing consulting, or are you doing product development? So let it be consulting company. And what better describes your company? Here's a list of industries, different industries. Go through these industries and try to find which one is most suitable for you. If you can find anything which is really suit for you, just put other and select your company size. Okay. Okay, I see several participants already start with us, and I hope that we can move to the next page. Okay. Great. The first stream is process. We start from ad hoc activities and unpredictable process. Business acts as a customer and communicate with data science directly. Each team member works on their own, and training team members is not provided. We pay attention on training process as data science is constantly changing, and we need to be on the front of the line, so we need to learn constantly. We start from ad hoc activities and we end at the point where there are processes whose task is to improve other processes. So the processes improve other processes. Team can independently build service and release it. Product owners is guided by objective business metrics of the company. The team focuses on spending up hypothesis validation, and each team member has individual training plans. So you need to pick a phase that is more suitable for your team. Let's do it together. Okay. Let's imagine that my team is not able to deliver the product to production, but dependencies are solved on the same day. And okay, let it be product owner in our team. But we have quite a great teamwork and task management. But we don't really have a training process at all. Okay. Okay. Oh, great. I see several. Oh, I see even one person already finished this maturity model while I'm talking to you. Okay. Next stream is data management. Here we move from monitoring, no monitoring of data quality, no documentation, no data versioning. Data stored on team's members' computer, and the quality of pipeline is not controlled. And we move to data warehouse or data lake. Data marts are built automatically, and there is automatic quality control of data marts. Data automatically documented and automatically monitored, both during training and into production. The pipeline is separated from the trained model and tested separately. Their quality and consistentness is controlled automatically. Okay. So let's just pick some points and go to the next. Okay. Probably there was some obstacles for several people. Oh, great. But most of you are doing great. And the last stream is engineering and data science. Starting from the point where data science processes is not reproducible, as there is no documentation and no quality control for oblivious stage. We want to get to a point where there is a code review and automatic testing of data science model. The infrastructure is deployed automatically and dynamically depending on the current needs of the team. Hypothesis test results are fully reproducible by any team member at any time. Processes are manageable, predictable, and continuously improved. Okay, great. And yes, we have several results. As I mentioned before, We have some questions. Can I ask Alexei to answer these questions, please? So we have average maturity. So overall maturity for participants who engage in this tool together with me. And we have such nice pictures. You can refresh in several minutes while we continue, and probably you'll get a slightly different result as some people can continue to answer. Okay, and we'll move on. Don't forget that you can save this link and share with your teammates and save for the future analysis. Okay. As we observed, the Lean data science maturity model is divided into 3 streams, and each stream is built around 4 maturity levels. You choose the most applicable level for your team for each category. And overall maturity level is calculated as an average scores in each stream. Pay attention not at the integer, as growth from level to level can take several months. Be aware about fractional part to see the progress. And just to sum up, Lean data science maturity model can be used as a benchmark to measure maturity of organization's data science process. The model describes 4-level evolutionary path of increasingly organized and systematically more mature process for 3 streams. They are process, data management, and engineering plus data science. The data science team could be on any of these maturity levels. More mature teams show better results. Now you get a baseline of where your data science process is. It is time to set where we want to get and starting conversational around trade-off. Optimizing level across all table is probably not a logical way to go. So what are the questions that are going to have biggest impact in how change happens within your team? The real power of the Lean data science maturity model, it is create a shared version with a group of leaders that are actually trying to increase maturity of data science processes within organization. Leaders can plan evolutionary changes. Where do they want to be in a year or 3 years or even 5 years? And what is the most important is to share this evolution way and expectation with others. This is kind of strategic alignment. So transformer is not a magic. We need to do changes, and that's going to take a work. Lean data science maturity model help us to understand where our processes are today, where we want to get, and how we need to go about moving from here to there. And once again, a more mature your team is, means it is show better results. So this model is not a luxury, this is necessity. And that's why I want to finish my speech. And there is a link for maturity model, and you can continue to track your maturity here. And you can ask questions here or just hit me on Telegram. Thank
you very much, Julia. Thank you very much for your talks. It was really interesting, at least for me. Do you have any questions? If you want to ask them, just type it into the chat, and we will try to answer them. There is a few. Danny asked to share the link. The link is already provided. Any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Well, Julia, I have questions for you from my side. Do you think that this material model can be developed some way, add more things there, or just perfect already?
It's a tricky question, and probably you know it. And it could be aligned in some way later as we have more data, more companies. But as for today, I see that it's it's already a useful tool, and we already use it for companies. And probably as the data science grows, it will be something new added in data science in general. So probably we'll need to add this new thing in our model.
Okay, thank you. Evgeny is probably asking related question. How about experiment orchestration and metric tracking? Why are they not a part of the model? So basically, it's about adding more stuff into the model. What about experiment orchestration and metric tracking?
We put it into the pipeline words, just hide all this orchestration, all experiment orchestration, metric tracking. Actually, metric tracking we put behind other words like reproducibility and so on. And all regarding experiment orchestration we hide behind pipeline. Just see the keywords like pipeline and reproducibility.
Absolutely. Actually, different people have different kind of understanding what they really think important based on their context. So people constantly ask, what about this? What about that? So it's maybe part of something bigger, but seems very important for them because of their context. So it's a kind of a compromise between different ideas how to put into one simple model everybody could use the same way.
And also I want to add that it's depend on your point of view. If you are a machine learning engineer, you worry about experiment orchestration. If you are data engineer, you probably don't even know about experiment orchestration. You finish your work while you say, okay, there is a data, bye-bye. I have another data to proceed. And if you're a product owner, you're probably will be scared about this word like orchestration. It's not a setter. Oh, okay, what are you talking about? Probably bad product owner. But anyway, we try to make a more generalized view of this process.
Thank you for your answer, guys. Any more questions? Any questions? Ideas? If you have to share something you want to add, adding more things, we'll welcome you to do that. Probably you can write an email. Can you share your contacts, Julia?
Yep.
Do you have one? Okay. So it's a Telegram. Probably email would work better.
Okay, great. No problem. I'll put my email in the chat.
You can share your email. It would be great. So I believe that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope we can have more content that would be absolutely interesting for you. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Today is easy day for us. So,
yes,
we have another question. Sorry, just great. Thank you very much for question, Dmitry. How to work with the result page? Obviously, the more is better, but what is more important to start with?
Oh, great question. As I said, that maturity model help us to get an understanding and common view where you are for today. And then you starting to trade off with your leaders or with your teams. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be in several months? And probably, as I already said, that the more mature, probably it will be great for you, for your team, to have a managed level for some of the points, for some of the questions. Within your team, you need to communicate and make an agreement to what is more important for your team. Where do you want to grow? Or probably which questions will be easier to answer. Like it's probably not really difficult to start to visualize your task. You just, or probably it will be hard for you.
Julia, if you don't mind, can I add something?
Yeah,
actually, one of the things I use for me seems useful when we do retrospective with the team. So probably you know what is retrospective, right? It's just we talk with the team about their process, and usually we come talking with the team about their problems, and basically most of them talk, well, our customer is not smart enough, something like that. or it's not really valuable sometimes. And I start using this maturity model with them before the retrospective starts. So just kind of start of conversation with the team. And actually it's really thought-provoking for most of the people there. They come up, well, actually, that seems like the opportunity for us. Let's change our process this way or that way. It can be engineering, like, why don't we have code review, or how we don't have style guides, or it can be, we need some to change the way we work with our customer, or something like that. Basically, the team can answer these questions. So for just do it with your team and ask questions what we need to improve in our process just after this kind of measuring. And basically sometimes, you know, teams have some kind of elephants in the room nobody notice, so probably you can just reveal them and you can start talking about them. Diana, or Diana, I don't know, on what data is based this model? Like, why exactly those metrics? Why is those interpretations? Like, why is this model is trustworthy? Good questions.
Nice one. Thank you for your question. And how do we count these metrics? You answer all the questions within stream, and then it we aggregate it and make an average number. So if you answer for instance, for two questions like for oblivious stage and two questions like emergent stage, you'll get 1.5, and it will be rounded and we'll say that you are at emergent stage. Okay. Why is this model is trustworthy? It based on our
you have to kind of trust Julia to trust this model, right?
It was kind of our experiment, and we conduct lots of interviews and lots of experiments, and we are working with different companies, and we try to align this model to different companies. And as we saw that we have a trend line that more mature is more coolest team, and if the team perform like really great, and then we try to align this model, we see that the team has a managed level or even higher. So we don't have any fails with aligning of this team. Probably
it's hard to fail, actually. Can I add? It's hard to fail with this model, actually. This is just a bunch of questions that seems reasonable. Yeah. Probably, yeah, you might find out that you kind of miss some questions and you want to add your own. But basically, by the way, we have a spreadsheet way to do that in a spreadsheet. So if you want, we can share with the questions. You can add more stuff there which is relevant for you to make it like your own version of maturity model. But there is no something like, you know, kind of you cannot trust. This is not something like, you know.
Oh, I have a question for you, Diana. Do you have any example or question that you don't really think should be there, or that controversial question? Like, if you don't have, if you store data on your data scientist computer, that it's much better and it's fast access to data than if you have a data warehouse or data lake. So, is there any controversials in the questions?
Let's maybe Diana is going to write something for us. Okay. Let's move on. Becoming more mature is costly. Do you think there are cases when there is no point in investing into improving on this scale? Yeah.
Of course, why not? I think it depends on the cost. And as I said, that you're starting to trade off what questions you need to answer first, and probably you will stop on the kind of level that you said, okay, as for now and for next several years, we'll stay here because it's suitable for us, for our team. It's working kind of well, probably not great, but not perfect, but it's well, and we have a revenue in this stage, and we don't just mess our models, and we don't fail our models, so it's kind of manageable, and we can predict what's going on next with our data science process.
Just a quick example. For example, you're in a consulting project for customers and you have a really short project, like 3 months. Do you really all need all this, reproducibility and engineering excellence things? I don't think so. So it's up to you, just model, if you think the team is not investing enough into improving, probably you might try that. If you think they are okay, just don't do that. That's all. It would be nice to see typical challenges a team meets on each level, kind of explaining the motivation for growth. Vladimir, yes, probably. Julia, can you add something there?
As I saw the question, and I saw that Ksenia is going tomorrow to have a talk about improvements and probably challenges in team.
But actually, Vladimir, probably you're right. But basically, it's more about on the context. So it's not like for level. Yes, it's for level. Yes, but more different types of teams have kind of different flavors of the problems. Like if you're a consulting company, probably you have problems connecting to your customer. For example, just talking to a customer might be a challenge for you. If you are, in production and you have really, really complicated ML models working in real time, so probably have one kind of problems. If you're analytic team like BI team, probably have different kind of problems. So it's kind of.
I hope in several months we'll collect the data, anonymous data, and we can share results or make a report with a kind of levels or stages for different teams. So that's why we ask you to choose your role and choose your organization. The phrase that describes your organization, like consulting company or product company.
Thank you. Dmitry is asking, how do you compare performance of teams inside two different companies? In other words, how to measure team performance in a way it's something objective and comparable?
Okay, it's two different companies because probably even harder to compare within one company, two different teams. How to measure team performance in a way?
It depends on what you think about what is performance actually. So, for example, data maturity model doesn't, data science maturity model doesn't measure performance. It's just level of process maturity, right? So, if we're talking about performance in terms of how many, I don't know, value they deliver per month,
for business,
just cannot, just uncomparable. You cannot compare it. I don't believe it's possible. We cannot compare it even in software development. What about data science? I don't think it's possible. As far as maturity model, of course you can compare it. It's just the way you can use this model in order to do that. It's comparable.
Yeah, it's kind of a process. It's tool for process measurement, not performance measurement.
Yeah.
So you just need to, probably the question was, okay, I said about performance and I said about teams who make a great job, and more mature teams make more, even great job. And probably the question was to this statement. And for the team, you can measure or you can define what is a good performance. And if you go on the next level, you'll get a better performance for this team. And for another team, it will be another metrics for measure performance.
I think this is it. I don't see, there was one more question actually. Thank you, Diana, for answering. This is probably update, right? Unfortunately, I'm on my way, so I can't go deeply into questions, but my question is more general about creating some scoring system like this. Which questions, metrics are really important, which one are not, how to decide it, when different people can have different opinions about it. Sure, more of them are from common sense, but have you had some data proofs? Like in product, everything in hypothesis that we can try and prove or fail and after make decisions? Good question, actually. And actually, one of the things we do, actually, this is exactly this approach. You just try it, right? So having some kind of a minimum viable product, deliver it into production, make other people start using it, gathering feedback and improving. Actually, this is the way we're gonna do that. And we do that, actually. Part of what we do, actually, it's more like hidden work, like a consulting work. So you kind of come to the team, and usually management is asking things like, guys, I have some kind of a mess. I don't really understand what's going on there in data science. Just a bunch of people talking.
Spending money.
Yes, absolutely, right. Talking about things I don't really understand. So can you just tell me what is going on there? So it seems like this model is useful, at least from this type of perspective. At least I find it useful from this type of perspective. I don't know if it's going to be useful for you in your context. Probably not. It might be that you find it like it doesn't work for you at all. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be absolutely good. It's not like a data science model. Even data science models like ML models have some kind of a accuracy and other metrics that kind of we see that they cannot like help everybody. And we just need to remember that every model is wrong, but some of them are useful. This is what we think is here. But I understand your concern. Probably we kind of need to think it over next time. Next time we're going to present it to people. We just add more things about why you should trust this model, right? I don't know if then we're able to answer your questions, but thank you very much for it. It was really thought-provoking for us.
It's not a tricky mathematical formula. It's kind of a tool or framework for measure processes maturity. Like for the people, like for the person, can you measure maturity for the person? You just have kind of a feeling like if this person don't jump in a pool or in a pond, that probably it's more mature than a kid who jumping in a pond. So you just have this feeling, and this is about maturity model. So we have some feelings, and we try to describe, and we try to make these feelings and make these questions to describe the maturity of processes.
Dmitry is asking, probably you partially answered that question, but anyway, in what aspects teams with higher maturity level are performing better than the teams with lower maturity level?
It depends on a team and depends on company itself. Like, is it consulting company or it's a company, product company? But it's for each company, it's you can set a baseline of what does good performance for your team. And then you'll try to probably not. I can't say that you can just go back in a maturity model by 1 or 2. You try to go higher, so you just try to working on processes and make them better and step higher, step further here, and then you measure your previous results with your new results, and you try to compare the performance. Probably while you get from oblivious to emerging, you get another performance level, and you'll start to measure performance in a different way. And you couldn't compare what it was like. We had 100 hypotheses and one model in a production. It's quite good for you on an oblivious level, and when you go to emerging level, it started like we have still 100 hypotheses and we have still one model in production, but we continuously improve this model, and it was not really good at the beginning. And as you have CI/CD, or you have it's stable, and you have new features what is performing for you. It's stable, it's reproducible, and lots of this work.
Yes, and I want just to add one more example, just for you to understand what maturity actually means. For example, you are in a team, you are just newly started team inside of a company, and you are given some kind of a job, like, could you guys create a ML model for us? So you just create one. Then you have more and more customers. You understand it doesn't work that way. Too much work to do. You have a problem, right? On your hand. And you need to deal with that. And you start thinking, how can you do that? And probably you start thinking, probably I need a manager who can kind of manage this job for you, just kind of understand what we really need to do for these people, because we just a lot of reward for us. We just again doing the same job for the same customers, then are not continuously are not happy. And you have somebody who can do that for you. So it's a kind of growth of maturity, start understanding how to deal with this problem. On the next level, you understand you still have a lot of work to do, and you need to prioritize it in this way or another. Even you have it discussed in some way, you just start prioritizing it. And on the next level of maturity, you understand that it's not even that not enough, because it's never done. You need to understand what done means for you. So you need to formulate your job in a way that customer agree with it, and there is something valuable behind it. So you don't do the job that is not, like, important for the company. So you need to some kind of ways to prioritize this. This is the next problem you come across with, and fix it. On the next level of maturity, again, just come across with a different level of problems. Okay, we're prioritizing, we're just doing what is needed by our customer, and it is what brings value to our company. But you start asking the questions: what actually the value for my company? I don't really understand. It's just changing over time. This, like, months, these kind of things are important for our company. For example, we are focusing on like average check. The next months we are focusing on another thing, like I don't know, like conversion of some kind of. So basically, you need to connect the things you are focusing as a ML team or data science team to the goals of your company. So it's the next level problems. You basically, for you, it looks like you're continuously struggling with the problems, but you are improving actually on your way. So if you compare this kind of teams that you were in the very beginning with the team that you are at the very end, it's a completely different team, absolutely different level of understanding. And the amount of value produced is unbelievably higher, because you don't do things that are not needed by your company. At the beginning, usually, in my opinion, like 70% of your job actually not needed to be done at all. So you don't need to do that at all. So just stop doing that, brings more value than doing that. So this is just an example how you just kind of
True story.
Maturity, right, exactly. From step by step improving your maturity. So this is but for you it looks like continuous struggle against some kind of a non-stopping problems.
Short note for data scientists. It's every time we starting a new project, data scientists come to me and say, okay, we'll try like GPT-3 model, but there is nothing to do with GPT-3 model. But data scientists wanted to try something new, something wonderful, something perfect, something like state of the art, but it's not really necessary for this product. And they will try it because it's fun. The model won't get into production, and this will be one of other 85% of models who never goes to the production.
Okay, so thank you very much, Yuliya, for presenting.